All right. What's good? What's good? What's good? Y'all tune into the Corner Radio hosted by your man Kill. I'm up here with my whole squad today. I got my song of the day, hashtag song of the day. People with me up here. Special guest, first time on with us. We got my homegirl Amy. What's going on, miss?
How you doing?
Everything is good. Everything is good. We got my bro Sincere. What's good, Sin?
What's the dilly?
Man, everything is everything. We got JR. He already tried to go off on me already, so we're gonna try and keep this as calm and quiet and as cool as possible. It was my bad. That's my bad. He thought I sent a text that says something that. This is why I'm gonna stop texting people. People take stuff out of context. So what's going on, JR?
You see, he started it off bad, came off being good, and then ended it bad. I can't win with this dude, but whatever. What's up, everybody?
Okay, and then we got my man Greg from Philly. What's good, baby?
What's good, beloved? Everything's good. Everything's wonderful.
Good, good. Finally get you on, man. I see you got the grade coming in, B.
Yeah, I try to, it's in there.
Nah. You already know. You already know what it is. So look, today's show we gonna be chopping it up about Blue Eyed Soul, some of the dopest white singers that have come on the scene from day one. We're gonna break down the history. We're gonna talk about why I feel it's so important to soul music, those artists. And then we're gonna get into a little discussion because it's always intrigued me, and I have my own philosophy, but why I feel like blacks, we embrace white singers, but not MCs all the time. And I got my own breakdown on what I think that is, but I want to hear from everybody. But first, I want to take a quick sec. I made a statement on Twitter the other day after hearing about George Michael's past, and we're going to do a tribute and kind of talk about some of our favorite George Michael joints later. But I made a statement saying that George Michael was the one who put me on the Blue Eyed Soul. And a couple of people got at me like, well, yo, Kill, there was people before George Michael. And I'm like, of course I know that. But what I mean by that, I'm 42. So George Michael dropped when I was like in middle school, like around 6th or 7th grade. So the Hall & Oates, the Tina Marie, all of that stuff, that was my people's music. That's what I heard when they was having parties and stuff like that. But George Michael was the first dude who I went out and brought his album, and I was listening to the radio, taping it on the radio, and that was the stuff that we slow jammed to with shorties and things like that. So that's what I meant by he put me on to Blue Eyed Soul. So just wanted to put that statement out there. I ain't want, Cash should know me by now. My pedigree is in music is deeper than that. So, but just wanted to put that out there. But number one, JR, let's start with you, man. Why do you think Blue Eyed Soul has been so important to soul music as a whole? What do you think, JR?
Ooh, that's a good one. For me, I think it's important because you have, white artists that was definitely influenced. It's in their music. So it's like they can't sit up here and try to do pop music if it's not them. You know what I mean? So for me, I like with the Tina, like going back to Janis Joplin, she loved soul music. She was inspired by Sam Cooke. She was inspired by Otis Redding. It was in her voice. It was just who she was. So, it was so important that it went down, and that's why we have so much good soul music. We have funk artists like the Average White Band. They were great. White Cherry. It goes down, and the more, I guess how can I say? I guess the better. Is that the better word to use? I guess the newer it got, the better it got for me. You know what I mean? So I think it's very important that, the Blue Eyed Soul is in there because you have so many artists that was influenced by soul music. So I feel like it's very important in the genre for real.
All right, no doubt. What about you, Sin?
I agree with JR. Like he said, I just think it's who they really are, so it's just what they identify with. I just think it's simple as that.
All right, no doubt. What about you, Greg?
Well, I look at it like, music is an art form. So if they respect the art and respect the music, then a lot of attributes they can feel. So you can tell in some artists when it's really genuine. So
right.
A lot of ones we talk about, we accept genuine people. So if the music's good and their personality is genuine, then we accept it.
All right, no doubt. What about you, Amy?
Excuse me. I think it really just boils down to essentially what everybody is saying, you know, like it boils down to like that authenticity, like how they're feeling, what they've been exposed to. You know, like I grew up on rock and roll. I didn't learn anything about hip hop until like really I was in college. I mean, you know, I heard stuff, but it was like very top 40, you know, Casey Kasem's top 100, you know, so it's, you know, it's all what you know, and learn something later and like totally feel something different. So it's really about like what kind of clings to your soul, you know, like everybody has that thing for something, and whether it's necessarily applicable, but it's just that innate feeling, this is me, this is what I need to do, this feels good, this feels right, you know, like,
Right.
so just really embrace
Did we lose that?
people for who they are and what they making anybody. That's all. Is my phone being?
Hold on. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe if you could maybe if you take it off the Wi-Fi and just have it on the network. Are you on your Wi-Fi right now on your phone?
No, I don't have Wi-Fi. I'm just on my network.
Network. All right, it's cool. I'll piece it together later. But just finish what you were saying, and I'll piece it all together.
Well, really, I'm just saying, like, it's about what people have been influenced by and what their previous experience in life is, and right in their soul, you know, anybody.
All right, no doubt, no doubt. And I think for me, it's everything that y'all said. But I think the one gripe that I kind of have about it is I've always been kind of up in the air about the whole title of Blue Eyed Soul. Like, to me, I think it puts a separation into music that really doesn't need to be there. You know, it's like if dope music is dope music. Like when the Beastie Boys came out, it wasn't like blue-eyed hip-hop. It was like hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? And if you was dope, you was dope. So I understand how at times you have to categorize things, but I mean, some of those artists who were coming up in the 70s, in the 80s, I mean, truth be told, I'll go into the 2000s. There were some years that some white artists had better years R&B wise than black artists did. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you know, I've always just looked at it like that, the Hall & Oates, the Tina Marie's, the Bobby Caldwells, they're just as much as the soul and fabric of soul music as many of the black artists that we talk about all the time. You know what I mean? And, you know, I just, you know, I'm real big on kind of breaking down that barrier. And it's funny because I'm, you know, saying the Blue Eyed Soul episode, but and then saying I don't like the title of it. But I know people will understand what I'm talking about by using the title.
Right.
But yeah, you know, that's kind of my thing about it, because those artists were beyond dope. But let's do this. Let's get into some of your top 5 Blue Eyed Soul favorite artists. Sin, who are your top 5 favorite artists?
Man, I didn't realize how hard this was till I was working on this, man. Like,
yeah, it's a little hard.
This was crazy. Like, I just gotta put that out there. But my top 5 is George Michael, of course, Tina Marie, Amy Winehouse. For me, those top 3 can't even move around. That's solid. And then I got Christina Aguilera and Justin Timberlake.
Okay. I ain't mad at that. Okay. JR, who you got, man?
George Michael, Joss Stone, Tina Marie, Amy Winehouse, and Janis Joplin.
Janis Joplin. All right, and I'm gonna go back and get this from you. Sin, what do you have any of your favorite songs from those artists you just named?
Oh, okay.
Not from no. Well, I mean, I can talk about it. I mean, for George Michael is probably Something to Say for me right now. One of my favorite joints from him. It's just, I don't even know how to explain it, man. I've been trying to figure out how to explain it. It's just divine. That's the only word I could think of for that record. But for Tina Marie, it's probably the joint she did for Marvin Gaye. I forgot the title of it though. And Portuguese Love too. So I'll go with that.
All right. JR, what are some of your favorites from the people you named?
Oh, from the list? Okay. Well,
no, from the people you named.
Oh, on the name? Okay, gotcha. With George Michael is Freedom 90. I love that song, the beat, everything about it, the lyrics. That song is just me. It's one of my anthems. It's my top 5 songs ever. And the next one I had on the list was I Need Your Lovin'. I love that song. Yo, anytime I hear it, I'm on the floor with it. You know what I mean? I just love that song. Like, especially when the beat comes in, just that guitar starting, and then the beat comes in, dope. So those are the 2 that I had on my list.
All right, no doubt. Greg, what are your top 5?
Well, for me, I gotta start with Philly, so I'm gonna go Hall and Oates for sure.
Nice.
I like George Michael. Tina Marie, that I question. That's probably my number 1, Tina Marie. I had who else I had? I had John B. And who else I had? I had John B. I had Bobby Caldwell.
All right.
Nice.
No doubt. Amy, who are 5 of yours?
I really like Carole King, Michael McDonald.
I had Michael McDonald too.
Amy Winehouse. Boz Scaggs.
Okay.
Nice. Nice.
I had that everyone too.
And I guess Ambrosia, probably.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ambrosia. Yo, Sin, you see, Jay Slayer was posting all their stuff the other day.
Oh my God.
You know what? To be honest, I just got into Ambrosia last night, and I listened to them all day at work today.
Yeah.
All day.
Yeah, Slayer had me with those joints. My joints are saying Hall and Oates, Tina Marie, Justin Timberlake, Amy Winehouse, and I got this group called Chicago. A lot of cats don't know about Chicago.
Yeah, I know about Chicago.
Okay, thank you, JR. Thank you.
I love Chicago. That's a good pick.
Me too.
Yeah, all right, cool. All right, let's move on to the second joint. Favorite album. Top 5 favorite albums. And the funny thing for me, what I found, and I'll go into it when it's my turn. So Stan, let's get started with you. Top 5 Blue Eyed Soul albums.
You said me?
Yeah, you. Go on you.
All right. Mayor Hawthorne, Where Does This Door Go? Number 1 album for me, man. That's actually one of my favorite albums of all time, period. Eric Tag, Dream Walking. That was slept on. It only came out in Japan, but I recommend people check that album out. Dream Walking by Eric Tag. And definitely listen Without Prejudice. George Michael, man. Classic. It's hard to pick for Amy Winehouse, but I'm gonna have to go with Frank for my number 4. All right. Christina Aguilera's Back to the Basics.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
The first disc is special.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nah, I feel you on that. All right, JR, what's your top 5?
Okay, number 1, I have Listen Without Prejudice with George Michael. That album is artistically brilliant. My number 2 it's between 2. It's the Soul Sessions and Mind, Body, and Soul by Joss Stone. Number 3 is Affection by Lisa Stanfield.
Okay.
Number 4 is, I wanted to go with Frank, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna pick Back to Black. And then my number 5, It Must Be Magic by Tina Marie.
Okay. All right. That's what's up. Greg, what you got?
My first one would be Tina Marie with I'm not sure the album title, but it's the one with Dear Lover, and I think Portuguese Lover on there too.
Yep, you were talking about It Must Be Magic. Yes, sir.
Must Be Magic. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely, because Dear Lover is my favorite Tina Marie song actually.
Nice.
Second, I don't have them in any order, but I would definitely take both Justin's 2 CDs, the first one and the Sexy Back. So the 1 and 2. I really like the first one. He got a slow song that's really on the first one. it sounds like it's made on a record player. Like I can't think of the name of the song, but
Are you talking about Another Again? I think.
what you say? Something?
Another Again. Is that it?
I don't know. I know it's number 9 on the CD. I think.
Okay.
But it's the one that Pharrell did. Pharrell did the first CD when he left the group.
Right. Right.
So if you listen to it, it got that real scratchy, like it's played on like they did on a record player. So it just take me back to that vintage '70s type flavor.
Okay.
So I would take his first 2. Like I said, I like John B's "Cool Relax." That's the one with
No
They
doubt.
Don't Know. He got the one with Tupac. I like. It's funny. I'm not a big Tupac fan, but I really like Tupac on that song. "Are You Still Down" is the name of the song.
Yeah.
Other ones, I'm more gravitated towards singles, so I'm strong in that area. But I would say like Hall & Oates' greatest album, greatest hits. And that's pretty much what I had right there.
All right, no doubt. Amy, what you got on tap?
I think she went. We can't even hear.
Y'all can't hear it, right?
Nah,
Nah, I can't hear nothing. I thought something was wrong with me.
yeah, me too.
No, I think that was George Michael with Faith.
Yeah, we can't hear her.
Yeah.
Can you still hear us, Amy? Yeah, we can't hear you.
She might have muted the mic or something.
How would I have done
All
that?
right,
Okay, you good.
Here you go.
Oh, you can hear me now?
Yep,
Yeah.
you good. All right.
Oh, now we're a Sprint commercial. Can you hear me now? Can you
Yeah,
hear me
you-
now? Sorry. I'm sorry.
Nah, no problem.
Stand over here. What was that? 4? Oh, and did I say Carole King Tapestry? That was the last one, I think.
We didn't hear anything, so you could just start all over again with your time.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry. So Carole King Tapestry,
Oh my God.
Minute by Minute, the Doobie Brothers,
Okay.
that George Michael Prejudice. I mean, who could ever be mad about that? You know, I mean, just. And then Amy Winehouse, Back to Black.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't like that list at all. My joints will probably be. I got the 2020 Experience Part 1 from Justin.
My man.
That's to me.
Me.
That to me is classic right there.
Yes, sir.
I know my man Nick will hate me for this, but Adele's 21. The next joint I gotta go with, I'm like Sim with Back to Basic. This one with Premier producing the bulk of it.
Yeah.
Joint, very very dope joint. It's funny, a lot of people don't even know that Christina worked with Primo like that.
Yeah.
Another joint, I'm like Greg, and I hate to pull out best of, but this was like the album that put me on the Hall of Notes. Like,
Yeah.
this was the
All those,
album I remember my aunts and my uncles playing, and I always thought it was so ill because they were arm wrestling. So normally I don't go with that, but I got to go with the best of album. And then I probably have to say that Tina Marie, and I would probably have to go with Star Child.
Okay. All right.
That's it. So that's it for the joint. It's funny because, like Greg was saying, when it came to a lot of the artists from the 70s and the 80s, to be honest, I didn't feel like, at least for me, I'm not disrespecting them, but for me, I didn't really like the whole albums. Like, there were always songs I liked off the albums,
Right.
but I can't sit here and tell you I've been putting the whole, album and just really listen to it. It wasn't until the artists of the 90s, 2000s came along and like the albums started to come together. Because I know there's gonna be people out there like, how y'all naming this and Timberlake and y'all not naming this Hall of Note album. But for me, at least, a lot of those albums as a whole weren't that great. It's almost like a player giving you a first good first and second quarter, and then disappearing for the third and the fourth. So I can't give you a whole good game for that. But now when it's coming down to the singles, Sid, what are your
Damn, I
top
got you.
5 singles?
Top 5 singles. I gotta go with Steely Dan, Black Cow to start it off.
Okay.
Got to, man. I just love the instrumentation on that joint. Ambrosia, biggest part of me. Gotta have that. I think it's even Gino Vanelli. I just want to stop.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I remember.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember that.
Michael McDonald. I keep forgetting. You gotta have that. And Bobby Caldwell, Do for Love.
Yeah. And it's funny because, like you said, now I feel like with the singles, we're gonna hear a lot of that vintage 70s and 80s stuff versus the albums. JR, what you got up for that?
Okay, my number 1 song is "Groovin'" by the Young Rascals. Number 2, I already named. I said "Need Your Lovin'" by Tina Marie. Number 3 is "Never Gonna Give You Up" by Rick Ashley.
I'm gonna get that CD for you.
Number 4 is "Freedom" 90 by George Michael, and number 5 is "Hall and Oates." I Can't Go For That.
Nice. Yes, sir.
Dope list. Greg, what you got, man?
All right, number 1, I was getting the Justin CD I was talking about because I took it out. But number 1, Tina Marie. Number 2, What You Won't Do for Love, Bobby Caldwell. Number 3, Justin. The song is called "Still on My Brain."
Yes.
It's off the Justified CD.
Yes, you right.
Just if you listen to it, it sounds like it's played on a record player. So I love
Mhm.
that song. What was the other? They Don't Know John B. And, it's one by the Average White Band. Drew Hill remade it, but I can't think of the name of the song. So I'm gonna go with Sarah Smile, Hall and Oates.
All right, no doubt. All right, Amy, what's your top 5?
Michael McDonald, Keep Forgetting. Ambrosia, How Much I Feel.
Nice.
It's so hard. Christopher Cross, when he did Arthur's theme, like that was, I thought, pretty amazing. It was a little more like poppy, a little less like that real soul, but like I think it still had that same like intention. So, and I loved Arthur, so I don't know, it stuck. And then Steely Dan, Hey 19. And then Amy Winehouse, Rehab.
Okay, all right. No doubt. For me, I'm with Sim with The Biggest Part of Me. That's one of them songs I can just listen to on repeat forever. I got a joint. I love I Can't Go For That. I love how that song starts off with the drums and then it comes in with the bass. That's bonkers. Like Sim, What You Won't Do for Love by Bobby Caldwell. That's one of my favorite like songs ever, and that's one of the things when we talk about Blue Eyed Soul. When you really start talking to folk about it, people don't even realize that some of their songs are your favorites. You know what I mean?
That's one of the
I remember,
classics.
and this is gonna date myself. I remember on New York Undercover when Montel Jordan was up in Natalie's doing
I remember that song.
Yes,
killing JT's girl.
yes, sir.
That was what was going on. So I'm gonna date myself. But that was going on with New York Undercover. And I remember that scene because I remember listening to Montel do it over and over and over again. Song. Portuguese Love, Tina Marie. I love how it goes from fast to slow to fast to just everything. And then I got a tie for my last joint. I got How Deep Is Your Love by the Bee Gees, because people forget about that Saturday night.
That's right.
Right.
Those Gibb brothers.
Yeah, exactly. How Deep Is Your Love, and it's tied with Chicago's Hard to Say I'm Sorry. As never heard Chicago's Hard to Say I'm Sorry as yet redid it.
You digging right there, boy.
But and the funny thing is, a lot of people,
I forgot one too.
What happened?
No, I'm letting you finish. I was just saying it's a song that I meant to say off top, but I forgot because I was trying to get to Justin the name of the song. But go ahead. I ain't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Oh no. So a lot of it's funny because when As Yet redid it, a lot of people who hadn't even heard the original from Chicago and didn't even know Chicago was white. On top of that, so you know, I mean, it's that's my top. But what was your other one, Greg?
The boy just passed. George Michael, Careless Whisper. That was Wham.
Yeah.
But Careless Whisper, I don't know how I forgot that.
Yeah. Careless Whispers. That's some whole another level right there. was crazy right there. But now tell me this, y'all, because like I said, I've got my own take on it. Why do you think folk are more, I guess, open to Blue Eyed Soul, but then when it comes time to hip hop and with a lot of white MCs, people front on that? Sin, what do you think?
Yeah.
Man, I don't even know how to answer that, to be honest with you. I'm gonna have to listen to somebody else answer, and I have to think about that one. That's a real good question, though.
All right, JR, you got to pick, or do y'all want to hear my take on it first?
I mean, I can say what I thought. I mean, I think, but I mean, for me, I think when it comes to soul, like we always saying, you can feel it. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be a feeling when it comes to soul. When it comes to hip hop, I don't think you go into it like feeling somebody rather than with soul music. For me, maybe I'm wrong, but you know, for me, when I'm going into hip hop, it's like, I think they do get their respect, because I'm saying for me, the Beastie Boys got their respect. Eminem definitely gets his respect. You know what I'm saying? But the only one that I think that really didn't get their respect and shouldn't have got their respect anyway was Vanilla Ice, because it was a fraud. You know what I mean? To be honest with you, it was a fraud. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I think well, you know,
let me challenge you, bro. Why was Vanilla Ice a fraud?
Because for me, I'm gonna say for me, when he went on Arsenio Hall, right? And for me, he tried to really try to shout out all these black artists and all that. What are you proving? Like, you didn't need to do that. You know what I mean? He just wanted to shout out. What did he shout out? He shouted out Public Enemy. He tried to go so hard to say, yo, I'm hard, just because you got Ice Baby and you getting jabbed left and right. Now you just trying to say you hard. You know what I mean? So for me, I thought that was a little fraudulent. Be yourself. Hey, Ice Baby is hot. You liked it. You rap. Own it. But instead of going on a show and trying to say, oh, you know what I'm saying, what's going on the Public Enemy? What's going on the Ice Cube? What's going on, like, for real? Like, you didn't need to do that for me.
But what if he really liked those artists?
But it wasn't even about that. That's why Arsenio was getting mad in the interview, because he like, dude, I'm not asking you about them. I'm asking you about the flack you're getting with Ice Baby. You don't need to say, oh, well, I was just talking to Flavor Flav a couple of days ago and he said this, and I was talking to Ice Cube and he said this. It was like, I'm not asking them. I'm asking you. And he was getting pissed. And I would get mad as an interviewer too, because you're trying to prove, because you're getting all this flack about crossing over to pop, and now you want to say I'm down. And it's like, dude, who cares? Like, own your record. This is what making you who you are. You don't got to prove nothing. So I know.
You know, man, in my old age, I got to sit here and say, and I'm sure I'm going to shock a couple of folks, I ain't mad at Vanilla Ice, man. I ain't mad at you. I don't think he was a fraud. I don't think anything negative about Vanilla Ice. Stephen A. Smith does it every day. He said, hey, I was just on the phone with Shaq. Oh, I just spoke to, I just spoke to such on the phone. You know, certain people are name droppers. That's Stephen A.'s thing. But I really don't have any beef with Vanilla Ice. Let me say why. Because I think a lot of times, well, you know, I'm sorry. I'm cutting people off. I feel you, Jim.
No. I want to hear this, because I want to know because you really hip hop. So I want to know why you like this dude. To be
no, I didn't say I like Vanilla Ice.
You said you respect that, though. For real.
I didn't. I didn't say I respect him. I said I don't have no beef with him.
Yeah, he said he's not mad at him.
Why?
I ain't saying I like.
Why you ain't mad at him though? I don't get that. Why?
Vanilla Ice came out with a song that I thought was whack, But you know who else came out with a song that I thought was whack and I didn't think got as much slack as Vanilla Ice did? Tone Loc. You know who else came out with another song who I didn't like, who I don't feel got as much slack? What was my man's name? MC, Young MC. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
To me, they all came out at the same time.
Right.
With the same type whack, corny songs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't feel Young MC and Tone Loc got half of the slander that Vanilla Ice did, which I think goes back to why did black folks slander him? Because he was white. I believe in my heart of hearts that if Vanilla Ice would have been black, people would just been like, you know, he corny.
I can't agree with that though, Kill, because MC Hammer got a lot of that, and he was black, and he did the same stuff.
MC Hammer got a lot of slack, but keep in mind with this. Let's not act like cats on the East Coast, and people will act like they didn't. People was dancing to Hammer. Okay?
Oh yeah, that's
act like that. I know some hard rock from Brooklyn who act like they don't know who MC Hammer was.
Okay, you didn't have to even go there. You didn't have to throw Brooklyn out there. You could have kept it at your Philly home. You didn't have to throw no Brooklyn. You didn't have to do that.
I'm just saying, people act like he wasn't talking about Hammer, they put me in the mix. Like you can't. People was dancing,
but he was also getting as much slack as Vanilla Ice, wasn't he? Though.
I mean, in my opinion, I don't think he was because guess what? New York radio was playing.
True.
Hammer.
True.
So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying by that. But that's gonna go into my tail into my philosophy. But Greg, why do you think more singers get less flack than MCs?
Well, I think first of all, you know, singing, like if you got that vocal talent, we gonna respect the vocal talent all day if the music is good. But secondly, you know, the thing with singing, the topic is generally love. So everybody done felt love on some type of level, good love, heartbreak, pain, whatever. So everybody has a story with that. So everybody can sing from some level of love, the good and bad. You know, a lot of love, it's a lot of pain in love. So if you ain't had no pain, you ain't probably really been in love. It ain't always all good.
Right.
So that's something that anybody can speak to. Take Tina Marie, for example. You know, she was speaking pain.
Yes.
You know, we talk about how Mary speak pain, but Tina was speaking that pain way back before Mary was out.
You right.
So that pain is universal.
All right, no doubt. Amy, what do you think?
Well, you know, I mean, like, let's be real. Like, white guys have been appropriating things for a long time, right? You know, they always think they got to get in on whatever it is that is good and whatever. So I think soul singers really just run that respect of like, you know, it's like that, again, it's right back to that heart, that soul, that feel, that, you know, what you were saying, how people can express pain and so much emotion. And you can do the same thing through hip hop. But in my opinion, you know, if you don't have that background and you don't like know the culture, which a lot of people don't. A lot of people think like, oh, it's just rhyming and this and over a beat and I can do that and whatever. And it's not. It's like, it's the same thing. It's that same vibe, that same feel, but not everybody has that. And I think like a lot of times it's, will have it, you know, they might get some flag because that's not a place that they necessarily have always come from. You know what I'm saying? It's like somebody was like, okay, you know, like, oh my God, I do feel this. I love this. I want to live the culture and I want to appreciate it. And then there's other ones who aren't in it for the right reason and like wreck it for anybody else. You know what I mean? Like okay, like I won't lie. I love Vanilla Ice, right? We're back to the Vanilla Ice example. I loved him, but I also lived in a community of 1,000 people who listened to top 40 radio, and guess what? That was the hip hop that I heard, and I was like, oh, what is this? This is amazing. Oh my God, I haven't heard anything like this, you know? So, you know, like that brings so much to another audience that might not have like gotten that opportunity like forever ago. I'm kind of going off track, and I apologize. I promise I'm bringing the circle back in. But I'm just saying, like, you know, like, like, I think a lot of times, like, white artists who like put their foot in the ring, you know, they have to expect, like, you're probably going to get a bunch of shit because, I'm sorry, a bunch of crap because you probably should.
Go ahead, curse. It's so better. Go ahead.
You know, probably just because you should, you know, you need to, like, people need to, like, be broken in sometimes and follow, you know, not follow rules, but, like, understand the culture and respect it and show their respect and do what they need to do. And, like I said, you know, I don't know that Vanilla Ice really necessarily did that. I mean, and at that point in my life, I wouldn't know that because, like, you know, I'm this little girl from Mercer, Wisconsin, you know, with 1,000 people in my community, and everybody knows, like, what the heck I'm doing, and they're going to tell my mama if I'm screwing up and doing some stuff I'm not supposed to be doing, you know. All we do is run in the woods and climb trees, you know, like, that's what I grew up in. And so like I'm saying, you know, like, I did love music, but when I finally learned what the catalog pop, like, oh Lord, you know, right? You know, like, now I'm like, oh yeah, okay, he's got a show now. He just, all right, he made some. Okay, I'm happy for you, but I'm never gonna listen to you again. Okay, let's just get that right. You know, like, it just is like, you know. So I don't know. There's both ends of it, you know, but. Sometimes those guys, they just bring it on themselves because their personality, they have the personality of a jackass. So he was out there running his mouth, you know, and like, dude, just be cool. Like, some people can't just be cool too, you know?
Right.
And not be cool.
Right. Now let me go into my philosophy on this whole thing. Now, first, let me say this: is another shameless plug for my man Paradise's book that just came out. No half stepping. A history of Latin Quarters, the most popular hip hop club in New York history. JR, there's a story in here where MC Hammer came to Latin Quarters, said, "Let me perform." He performed and he got booed.
Yeah.
That's why he came back.
When I was reading it on Amazon, somebody was talking about that too.
Right. So the whole point was Hammer came back, and if you remember in those videos, that's why they were like, "Hit in New York, Hammer." You know what I mean? And they said that the only two groups who ever came to Latin Quarters and got booed, but came back and then killed it, was Kid and Play and MC Hammer. So there's a little right there when you talk about the hate that Vanilla Ice got versus MC Hammer, because I don't think they was ever going to allow Vanilla Ice to come to Latin Quarters. You know what I'm saying? But that's just that. My philosophy, number one, I think that we accept, black folk accept white soul artists is because, number one, we got to remember when a lot of this blue-eyed soul came out, it was in the 70s. So we're coming right out of civil rights. We're coming out of Vietnam. Let's keep it 100. We didn't know they was white.
I was about to say that because I did not know Bobby Caldwell was white. Was white.
When black folk and white folk, we talking about the 70s, 60s, and the 70s. Half these people didn't know Tina Marie was white. They didn't know Hall & Oates was white. I was watching a video show with T a couple of years ago. She ain't know Bobby Caldwell was white.
I didn't either.
That who don't know that these people were white. That's my first thing. Number two, let's keep it 100. These people can sing. That's the other problem. A lot of the white MCs couldn't rap. So for me, I don't care if you
That's
white,
what I mean.
whatever.
Skills.
If you whack, you whack. If you dope, you dope.
Right.
So that's the other thing. It's not like I've never come across a blue-eyed artist, soul singer who couldn't sing. They all can sing.
Yeah.
So there was never a time and place for us to ever be like, oh, nah, Robinson can't sing. It was like, yo, that joint is dope. So they put out dope music. And number three is that, again, with hip-hop, when the Beastie Boys first came out, I knew they were white and I didn't care because I loved their music. When Third Base came out, when Russell and them signed Third Base after the Beasties left, I didn't care. To Step Into the AM was dope. Brooklyn Queens was dope. Gasface was dope. Their music was dope. You know what I mean? So I think that those three things coming together, like I said, unless y'all can tell me, I've never heard a blue-eyed soul artist who couldn't sing. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, whereas with Macklemore, that's just not up my alley. You know what I mean? But for me, at least, I gave Vanilla Ice the same hell I gave MC Hammer, Young MC, and I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a ball. Like, that to me is right on that same level. You know what I mean?
Do you like Skee-Lo?
Nah, I ain't like, man, I ain't like that. I was tall, I was a ball. Come on, man. Spinning my.
You didn't like Top of the Stairs by Skee-Lo.
What happened?
You didn't like Top of the Stairs by Skee-Lo?
I don't even know who is that.
It's the same dude. Just he had a song on the one of them Western
I wish I was
Snipes.
taller, right?
Right.
Oh, I don't even know, bro. After that, I wish I was a little bit taller, man. Yo, I hate that song. Despise in me that I've despised that song. So again, for me, and I guess for me, it's just looking at it from the point of, like I said earlier, it ain't about if you white, black, Puerto Rican, whatever. You make dope music, I'm all ears. And that's the thing that, you know, and I think it's like Amy said, if you're gonna step in the ring, you need to make sure that you're nice. And I don't know why the singers make sure that they're nice and the MCs don't. I don't know, maybe if it's an easier lane for MCs to get in. You know what I mean? I mean, let's keep it 100. After Eminem got signed, everybody wanted the white MC on their label. You know? People forget about Bubba Sparks with Timbaland and everybody was trying to grab
Oh, wow.
white rapper. You know, and load him up.
Oh, well.
You know, so that's my philosophy to why they don't you know, why we don't hate on them as much. And the other thing that kind of I think that we forget is that white folk have been here since hip hop started. You know, I saw Wild Style. I've seen Style Wars. There are a rack of white graffiti artists that was there from day one. You know what I mean? So I've never been one to be like, oh, they're stepping in on our culture, they're doing this. Yo, they were there at the beginning too. Maybe it was more of them, more of us, and less of them. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? At the end of the day, to me, hip hop isn't a color thing. It's a culture. So I got a lot of teenagers that I work with who want to learn about it, and I teach them about it. I don't care if you white, black. You ain't got to be from Southeast DC or Silver Spring, Maryland. If you want to learn about it, you got to learn about it. But I think it's like what Amy said. I don't think a lot of times with hip hop, people learn about the culture. If you talk to Christina's, they're going to tell you about the Arethas and the growing up and what they listen to. You really don't hear that, at least from me, from what I've heard, like you said, JR, from the Vanilla Ices or the Macklemores and things like that. But you know what? Make their music. You know what I mean? And Macklemore wants to make that music. I'd rather you make that music than try to make MOP type music and sound like an idiot. Right. You know what I mean? So if that's what you like, I hate Tyler Perry movies, but I'm not the dude like, yo, you should be making this kind of movie. Hey, if you like dressing up like a woman and booing people, then do that. Make a Madea boo Halloween movie. But it's just not for me. But do what you feel in your heart, what is right, because that is what hip hop is about, right? Being you, right?
Right.
So I don't want to make Macklemore make harder music for me. If that's the type of music Macklemore makes, hey, knock yourself out, you know? So that's my thing on that. But there's no way that we can not talk about the greatness of George Michael and him passing away. So JR, I know you're a huge George Michael fan. I'll be the first to admit he put me on, but I lost track of George after the Faith album. Faith was my thing, and I think it was probably just my age group. I was in 7th grade. You know, Shorty, I liked at the time, like George Michael, so I was into that. But then keeping in mind, right after George Michael came out, NWA came out, and then my brain was on, and, you know, hip-hop 100% from that point on. So I kind of lost, you know, touch with George after the Faith album. It's definitely one of my favorite albums. But, JR, talk a little bit more about, you know, George Michael and his legacy and everything like that and what he meant to you.
Wow. It was definitely tough when I heard that he passed, for real, because like I talked about, Listen Without Prejudice, I think that album, it changed my life at 19. You know, for me, I was, you know, moving away from home. I was finding myself, you know what I'm saying? I was such a sheltered kid. So being on campus on your own, you know what I mean? Music spoke to me, you know what I'm saying? So I just remember that day that Freedom song came on. And I was watching the video, and I always knew the video when I was a kid because my mom is like the music guru, as y'all think I am, but my mother is. And like she knows like different genres and everything. So she loved George Michael. She like loved, the Culture Club and all that. So that was her thing. But she loved the Faith album for real. So, I really never really paid. I mean, I paid attention to the songs, but it wasn't like a big thing like when listening to Prejudice. When I listened to that album from beginning to end, it's so artistically great. And that album definitely explains his soul influences. He has a lot of James Brown on there. He has just, this guy, George Michael, was such a soul music guru. It was ridiculous. It was like, if you listen to that, the album that made them so big from Wham, which was Make It Big with Wake Up Before You Go, and Everything Once, and all that, they covered an Isley Brothers song on that. But it wasn't a big record, but nobody knew. So it's like he did about 4 covers of a Stevie Wonder song. He went on to Apollo and sung with Smokey Robinson a Stevie Wonder classic and got so much respect. So for me, I love George Michael because he was just so artistically great and he put his soul into it, and the brother can sing. That's one thing about me. When it comes to soul music, you got to be able to sing. And George Michael can sing, especially when he's holding a note. You feel the soul, the pain, all that he was going through. And for an album like Listen Without Prejudice, because he was going through that. We were just talking about how, a lot of, white artists go through a lot with the black communities with soul music. He was going through a lot of that when he did Faith. And it started when he was at the American Music Awards when he won for Best R&B Album. And he came out in 88 or late 1987, and Bobby Brown came out with Don't Be Cruel. So come on, Don't Be Cruel was huge. So you would have thought he was going to win that. And George Michael won it, and the black community went crazy. You even had Dionne Warwick, Gladys Knight, like really bashing this guy because they're like, wait a minute. You're a white guy that already get this privilege of getting nominations, and Bobby Brown is killing it pop-wise. He's the biggest artist, and you let George Michael win. So when he came with Listen Without Prejudice, he was like, look, I don't even want to be on the cover. I don't want to do no videos. I don't want to do nothing. I want y'all to just listen to the music. And let me tell you something. Those songs like From Freedom, Something to Say, Heal the Pain, Soul Free, like those songs is amazing. And then just the way he did Waiting for the Day where he used funky drummer that the hip hop artists use his most sampled song ever. He uses that song and made it a banging record, and it crossed over to pop radio, but it's a soulful song. But for all that to say, George Michael, to me, that guy was a soulful dude, and it really sucked when, 3 weeks I was just playing his music because at 19, that was a life-changing record. It was like that record let me know that I was going to be all right. My insecurities that I was going through at that time, I was going to be all right. And for me, listening to his album for the last 3 weeks and then to find him pass, that kind of hurt because it's like part of my life is like went away. That's how I felt when George Michael passed. So that kind of hurt me, but George Michael is it, and that's why like I had to do a video on it for real, because he is the truth, really.
All right, no doubt. So what about you, man?
Man, to be honest, I didn't even get up on George Michael until like 3 weeks ago. Like as far as his solo music, because I knew Wham, I knew Careless Whisper, but I didn't know nothing about the Faith album or Listen Without Prejudice till They put me on, and I just like fell in love with his honesty, his soul, his voice. But Listen Without Prejudice, it just really hit me hard because of the message and the lyrics and everything. Because I actually made an album back in 2009 called Unison, and I was really trying to like make hip hop that could have like all walks of life, come into the play. And a lot of people weren't really feeling it. They was like, "No, I don't understand what you're trying to do." When I was listening to George album, it was just like, wow, he's Listen Without Prejudice. Like, I can't even put it into words, man. Like that album is just amazing. But I've been doing a lot of research on dude. Like, I watched this Oprah interview. Just been reading about him a lot, like every day. And This is just a great brother, man. I mean, I hate that he passed. It really hurt because I just became a big fan like just a month ago. Like I bought the special edition of Listen Without Prejudice. It doesn't even come out until March next year, you know. So it hurts, but I think he left a beautiful legacy behind, man. And he definitely, like Prince, showed it's more than one way to be a man, you know.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Amy, what about you?
Well, you know, he was an amazing philanthropist, and you know, I grew up on Wham, right? So like that was kind of my jam, you know. So Careless Whisper, you know, and get the news, and you're like, what? You know, like that's the first thing I think of. I'm like, I'm not gonna live, you know, like that stinks. But I think like what he just always would bring to the table, all that you could just hear all the authenticity that he just bring. It was just amazing. Like it was an experience every time I heard him. Basically, is all I'm trying to say.
All right, that's dope. Greg, what about you?
Yeah, I agree with Amy. My first introduction to George Michael was Wham. I had a god sister that was Wham crazy. Back in the day, I was, you know, young. I'm like, you know, the only time I knew Wham was like we didn't even have cable then. But Careless Whisper, like that song just transcends. That just speaks to his talent. You almost forget he was even a member of a duo or a group because he had that type of talent and type of soul that kind of like stood above and stood alone. But you know, he kind of was like almost, I would say, before his time a little bit too. Just in, you know, him being that like that blue eyed soul, really soulful, really a talent. I mean, he was an artist, and he also, you know, had that sex symbol type thing going too for a minute. So, you know, he was like a full package. He wasn't just a pretty face; he was talented. So, I mean, at the end of the day, all you can do is respect his artistry.
All right, no doubt. And I mean, for me, the with George is always going to come back to that Faith album for me. Just takes me back to 6th, 7th grade. The thing that I think for me, I mean, definitely from listening to JR, I've never heard the Listen Without Prejudice album. I'm gonna check it out tonight, you know, and try and dig into that. But for me, the biggest thing with George was just, man, this dude created two of the dopest slow jams ever, in my opinion. You know what I mean? I always tell people, there are people who make music and there are people who make soundtrack. You know what I'm saying? And that Faith album was most definitely the soundtrack to my middle school years, through Careless Whispers and One More Try. I mean, I think those two songs right there, just, you know, I don't know, I can't say they're top two. They're both incredible. They're both two of the dopest slow jams ever. You know what I'm saying? So that's it for me with George Michael. Want to run down a couple of artists, and I know, Sin, you said you had some honorable mentions. Just want to run down some artists, because my man Nick, who's usually with our Song of the Day crew, he felt as though he didn't know enough about Blue Eyed Soul to be on the show, which is shocking, like Amy said, because this dude be rattling off artists all the time. You know what I mean? So just for cats who may not know about it, just want to go through some groups. Amy named them the Doobie Brothers. If you want to go back to the 70s, the Doobie Brothers. Yeah. Michael McDonald was part of the Doobie Brothers. My favorite Doobie Brother album, the Minute by Minute album. It dropped in '78. It has What a Fool Believes, and of course the title cut. We got, of course, what we named Hall and Oates. We got Ambrosia. In the '80s, we had Tina Marie. We had Michael McDonald, of course, George Michael. In the '90s, we had John B. In the 2000s, Amy Winehouse, Robin Thicke, Josh Stone, Justin Timberlake, Lyra, Maya Hawthorne, Sam Smith, Adele, just a couple of the names. JR, did you have any honorable mentions or anything left over?
Yeah, I got a couple. I got Dusty Springfield. I got the Righteous Brothers. I got Steve Winmore with Higher Love.
I remember that, yeah.
I got Janis Joplin with A Little Piece of My Heart. You already said Michael McDonald, but I definitely have to throw the Righteous Brothers in there. You Lost the Love and Feeling and Unchaining Melody. I wanted to throw that in there, but those are like my, I guess, bonuses that we had. So,
all right, no doubt. Greg, you got any bonus joints?
Like I said, the Average White Band joint. I can't think of that song that Drew Hill remade. It's on the first CD with Drew Hill, but I can't think of the name of it. And another one I came across a couple years ago. He's kind of new. I don't really know a whole CD, but a song. Daily. He had a song with Marsha Ambrosius.
Yeah, Daly's dope.
Sound alike. When I watched the interview with him, and he was singing live right in the interview. He sings like his voice is crazy. He's British, but his voice is crazy.
All right, no doubt.
So that's the only ones I have.
All right, Amy, you got any honorable mentions? Anybody left over?
Well, there's Robin Thicke. You know, he's.
I would say Robin.
oh yeah, The Thief.
Yeah.
See, here we go, JR. We're gonna talk about this Steve thing in a minute, but hey, we're gonna let Amy finish. But we're gonna talk about the Thief.
That's fine.
Joe Cocker. We did mention Steely Dan earlier, but that one's always a good one.
All right, no doubt. And it's funny that you said Joe Cocker. I was going to bring that up. I got put on a Joe Cocker based off, and a lot of white artists I got put on to off of samplings and digging because Ultramagnetic MCs, my favorite song from there, Funky, was sampled a Joe Cocker song, Woman to Woman. A lot of people don't know Bobby Caldwell has been sampled, not just for the common joint, the light that everybody knows, but also for the joint he had for My Flame. KG from Naughty used that for Big's Sky's the Limit joint on the Light Factory.
Yeah.
That's a Bobby Caldwell joint. And Greg brought up the Average White Band. One of my favorite joints, Cool Boy Crush, was sampled by Eric B. and Rakim for Microphone Fiend. So he's going into the sample.
Yeah.
But JR, what's your beef with Robin Thicke?
My beef with Robin Thicke is when I heard Blurred Lines, I already heard Marvin in it. So it was nothing to me. I was like, cool, whatever. The song is still dope, fine. Robin Thicke was like owning the record. Before then, we all know he was a big fan of Marvin. Everything was cool. Then when the lawsuit started happening, then it was like I saw an interview where he said, well, no, I'm not really inspired by Marvin Gaye. I don't know where everybody's getting that from. And I'm like, whoa. You have been coming out, playing your piano, all this, wearing your suits, doing all this, saying that you was inspired by Marvin. Now, all of a sudden, now the lawsuits is coming at you. And now all of a sudden, I'm not inspired by Marvin Gaye. That's my problem. And then you tried to throw it all on Pharrell, like, oh, I was high when everything went down and blah, 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 blah. No, you wasn't. You wasn't high. What the problem was the fact is that y'all didn't get your paperwork right. Because if you would have got your paperwork right and gave him a little bit of a songwriting credit, you wouldn't have had no problem. But you tried to do that and then you got busted. So why didn't you just own it? But now all of a sudden I'm not a fan of Marvin Gaye. That was my problem. Before then, I had no problem with Robin Thicke. I like Robin Thicke, to be honest with you. And then Adam Paula, she's a bad chick. So I was like, you all right. You know what I'm saying? But then when you come out and say, oh, I'm not a fan of, Marvin Gaye, now that this has come out, I have a problem with that. And because I'm sorry, if you Kill, I know when you heard Blurred Lines, you cannot tell me you didn't hear Got to Give It Up.
I think when anybody heard Blurred Lines, I didn't know about it.
Right.
I didn't know.
So then, like the Ed Sheeran guy, he also used the sample of a Marvin Gaye joint. He owned it. After it came out, he was like, yes, I was listening to it, I was inspired, he was like, the way I was inspired by it is I do it at my concert. I do my song and then I do Marvin's. But his paperwork wasn't right, so he had to pay the money. Just pay the money and own it. Don't sit up here and say I'm not a fan because now you got to pay mad money because this song is blowed up. That was my problem with Robin Thicke, and I think that he was a thief. Because you knew what you were doing. You know what I'm saying? You and Pharrell knew what you were doing, but then you threw Pharrell under the bus, and Pharrell had to own it on his own. Like, that wasn't cool to me. So that was my problem with Robin Thicke. Other than that, if Robin Thicke would have owned it, I'd have been like, well, hey, he owned it. It is what it is. But when you try to play like you ain't a fan of Marvin, that was my problem. I was like, I can't rock with him. Nope.
Did you have a problem? Did you have a problem with Justin when he threw Janet under the bus for the
Absolutely, I sure did.
Right.
But
I was
still
going
listen to his music though. When it came to his music, I rocked with the music. Don't get me wrong, but Justin as a person. But I'm gonna play devil's advocate here because Justin was getting his solo career right. I'm sorry, you got to do what you got to do. But as a Janet fan, I was pissed.
All right, well, let me challenge you with this.
What?
Yo, the lawsuits is coming. They trying to take all your money. You gotta do what you gotta do, right? So if I gotta throw Pharrell under the bus, or if my lawyer says, yo, you better lie and say you wasn't influenced by Marvin, isn't that the same thing?
What? That saying that? Wait, say that again.
Like how you were saying, you know, you kind of understood Justin throwing Janet under the bus because he was getting his solo career popping, and you gotta do what you gotta do. Robin Thicke was throwing Pharrell under the bus because them lawyers was coming, and they was trying to take all his money.
But they had the same lawyers.
So,
but they had the same lawyers though. That's you know what I mean? Like you gonna throw your mans under the like him. Janet and Justin were they were screwing. Bottom line, they wasn't no. You know what I mean? I made a track for you. You know what I'm saying? Pharrell actually produced this joint. He got you on his label. Y'all got the same lawyer. And you threw your head out there by saying I'm not influenced by him. Nah, that I can't. Nah, that ain't the same.
I'll quote Jay-Z for you. I forgive your weak ass hustling, just ain't you. Like maybe that's it. You never know. You do dirt with your man, and
you right. I don't rock with Justin like that. I mean, his album was dope. Like you said, the 2020 album is dope. Justified album is dope. But I'm a big Janet fan, and he threw my girl on the bus, and she had to pay for it. So
I got you.
I got with that, but I can't hate on the music. Robin Thicke made Blurred Lines, and the album wasn't even all that. You know what I'm saying? Just that song, and I think the other one he had. I think Kendrick was on the remix, but other than that, that was it. I like the evolution of Robin Thicke way better than Blurred Lines. So it was like, it was just like, nah, Robin did him dirty. I couldn't rock with that. Nope.
All right. I just want to know why you was mad, bro. That's all. All right. Amy, give them all your information, your Twitter, everything like that.
You could follow me on Twitter. I'm Phoenix backwards. It's Pheennix.
All right, no doubt. Greg, give them your Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff.
My Twitter, I'm trying to get it up to date. Stay on there a little bit, but it's at Bianca's Daddy, BYANCASDADDY at Bianca's Daddy after my daughter, and that's it.
All right, no doubt. Yeah, you gotta come back, getting our song of the day joints every day, man.
Yeah, look, when you finish, I want to tell you, and I'm back up on this thing. Y'all been doing the 93 through 98 and all that.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of flack from Greg too. He was like, "How dare you miss this?" and "How dare you miss this?"
All right, we got to do a recap show then. We do a recap show. JR, give them all your info, bro.
Y'all know, check out my website, Junior's World, Junior'sWorldOfSoul.com. Music Soul Nick on Twitter. Same old. I'm a soul music head, so that's my life. So,
all right, we already know what it is with me at Kill889 on Twitter. We'll make beats for food. Check us out. I don't know what happened to Sin. He dropped off, but we got a new joint out called Ain't Nothing Nice. Speaking of Sin, I think he's
coming back now.
Right, like,
yeah.
But you know, needless to say, check it out. It's a dope album. I think it's 8 cuts, and my people's Cash D, my man Matt out of Canada is on there. Tell them about the album, Sin.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
bring the mic on a little bit more. But tell them about the album.
All right. Well, the album is called Ain't Nothing Nice, produced by Kill, featuring me on the rhymes. It's about social, political issues going on in the world right now, police brutality, and it's just my take on it.
That shit is hot.
Check it out. Me and Kill working on the album too.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, JR. We appreciate that, brother.
Yes,
sir.
Give them all your stuff, your Twitter, your SoundCloud, all that good stuff.
All my pages is cinematic with an S, not a C, 06.
All right, no doubt, y'all. Yo, as always, dope discussion. I'll check y'all out next week, y'all.
Peace, y'all. Salute.
Deuce.